Hello guys, good to be back. Something a little bit different this one. Not my usual ride. I've just come out to Beccles to bring this bike back for a good friend of ours and a member of the crew, Martin Halliday. It's a Honda Shadow 750. I can't remember the exact model, but certainly makes a nice noise. But yeah, so I've literally been on this thing now 3 minutes and it feels very strange, to be honest. Not obviously doing the cruiser bikes, not as of yet. Just picked myself up a ZZR 1400, which is absolutely fantastic. I'll do a separate video on that fairly soon, but I thought I'd just do some footage of the run back from Beccles through Suffolk on Martin's Honda. So anyway, I hope you're all well out in YouTube world, and anybody that's watching who knows me and knows the crew and clubs and God knows what. Been a strange old time for everybody, obviously including myself. What with having the motorcycle accident back in March of last year and losing my ZZR 1200, being off work for 4 months, and then still have my Suzuki Mark 1 1200 Bandit. I carried on, went back to work, and then unfortunately at work dislocated my leg, which caused a fair amount of damage, which then obviously through the all the pandemic shit has kept me off motorcycles. So moving on from that, I had my mate 80 from Cox Motorcycles sort out the 1200 Bandit for me. I needed new chain and sprockets, this, that and the other, and what else was done? It was some work on the clutch slave cylinder. That was all rebuilt, and obviously got the work done on the Bandit, and it was sitting down in Cox's. 80 stuck an MOT on it, and obviously I wasn't riding. I'm still even now obviously repairing after the amount of damage that I did to the leg back in September. As it stands, the Bandit was down at the Cox's. A good lad made me an offer through the Suffolk crew for the Bandit, which I thought about. I didn't intend to sell it, but then I eventually did to this chap, and so that was that. And well, with other things in life, big things changing, I was left with no motorcycle, and my mate Chrissy Horton, good mate of mine, Yankee Doodle on YouTube, he purchased another ZZR 1400 with the idea of keeping it, obviously, but unfortunately with Chris's health and his upcoming operations on his foot, he decided to advertise the ZZR 1400, of which I didn't need much persuading, to be honest, and I eventually bought that from Chris, which is the bike I have now. I've only ridden it 3 times, or 4 times now, but it's absolutely beautiful. It's one of those bikes that's obviously got immense power, and it's actually very easy to ride. It's got the straight bar conversion on it, which has been done beautifully, and which makes it obviously a lot more comfortable from my perspective, from a riding position, and also I suppose from the pillion's perspective. But overall, like I say, I'll do a full review on the ZZR 1400, which is a Gen 1. It's 2009 in black. I'll do a full vlog on that fairly soon. But so that's where we are, really. Obviously, I hope you're all well, and of course, we're coming out of the arse end of this pandemic with the regulations and rules as it stands. It's great to see people out on the road again, enjoying the fantastic life that we lead with bikes. It's great to see faces that I haven't seen for so long. Of course, we're now starting to do that. People are getting out in the groups, which I'm doing with the Southern Crew, as our clubs and as our other groups, which is fantastic. And that's brilliant. You know, we've done now 2 fantastic nights at the Stonham Barns, the local Stonham Barns bike nights, organised by now a good friend of mine, which is Mark Warren. And they've been absolutely fantastic. The first one 2 weeks ago attracted around 220, 230 bikes, which was great. And the one we had last Thursday attracted about 250, 260, I believe. And people may wonder, you know, how do they go about this? Well, they can, and the fact is that it's an outside event. It's all down to common sense, you know, and obviously respect for other people as we do come out of these rules and regulations with the COVID-19 as we have done. But the great thing about the Stonham lads and the setup is the fact that as soon as you turn up, they have one of the lads comes up with you and does a temperature test, and then if all's good, then you just carry on and you go to the next guy and pick up a track and trace card, which obviously you can then use the Q code on your phone and link up, if you so desire, to the necessary software further afield. But the other point being is when you do turn up, bearing in mind is, you know, there's 230 odd people there. When parking up, you park up at least 5 foot apart from the next motorcycle. And I suppose the great thing was this particular week is one of the guys, a good lad, he met us up at Crew Hill. He came out with the obligatory wooden pads for those who do not have stand pucks, and laid them down literally 5 to 6 feet apart. So that gave people a great idea as to where to roll the bike into without pissballing about and moving the things backwards and forwards. So overall, the Stonham bike nights so far, there's been 2 of them, have been absolutely fantastic. Great people, great to see everybody chatting about all sorts of stuff, you know, like we do, and loads and loads of lovely machinery up there as well, which is cool. Suffolk Crew is doing fantastic. We're taking on a load of new members recently. Managed to keep that alive and keep that sweet for all like the quiet period while I've had a chance, and now they're really seeing the excitement with members. You know, come forward now. People who have been quiet the last few months are now sort of, you know, coming back onto the scene, and they're now expressing themselves on the site and posting things up, and looking forward to the events that I've posted up and other things that are being put forward by other groups and other guys with shows and this, that and the other, which is fantastic. So that's all good. There's loads of things coming up. We've got a good few events on the crew coming up, but what I have actually put up are, I wouldn't say limited, but I'm not flooding the whole calendar with crew events, because there's so much going on with other people and other groups that, you know, in all due respect, there's nothing that's not going to keep us entertained, regardless of whether I've put it up or not. What I say? Yeah, I say I don't normally do the cruisers. Don't get me wrong, I don't knock them. Don't knock any bike. And certainly one day, you know, I may pick up a Harley or something or other, you know, along those lines, a low rider or whatever, you know, or even an old school chop. But no, it's generally not the sort of bike that I ride, but this one's fairly entertaining to say the least. Sounds nice. Quite punchy. In fact, the last one I rode was a little Harley Sportstar. It was an 883 that belonged to Kerry in the crew, and that felt absolutely minuscule with me, to be honest with you, and didn't want to really haul my arse round corners, if I'm completely honest, but I probably could have done with a bit more pressure in the boots, especially with fucking lard arse on it. But no, this is certainly different, I have to say. Very relaxed. I could pull up a fucking hostess trolley and have a cuppa and a cake, to be honest. Handling's certainly different, with the bars obviously much higher than what I'm used to. And obviously being a V-twin, it's got a completely different power delivery. So anyway, as we move forward in time, let's say there's plenty coming up with shows and you know, bike nights especially, and this, that and the other. My main crew events won't really be starting until after June, which I thought was, you know, a fairly wise move in respect of everything. And then once we get to June the 21st, I believe, obviously everything pretty much is relaxed as far as rules and regulations go. So it just gave me the idea that people will feel a lot more willing and freer in their mind and more keen to get out, knowing that they're possibly not breaking any legislation, if you like. I mean, we've all had to live with it, and you know, if you wish to abuse it, then fair enough. But you know, most of the community that I know haven't abused it, and here we are now. So you know, as long as we use common sense, even without the restrictions, then hopefully, fingers crossed, things can carry on as we hope they do. And we'll have a full motorcycle season and everything else can get back to some sort of normality. It's nice to see a good few bikes out on the road as well. No, this is certainly different for me. Well, most of you know that I've had the Bandit last year, and obviously the ZZR 1200, and the previous bike, the ZX12R. None of which of my 40 odd bikes over the years has been anything like a cruiser. So it's fairly alien to me, but albeit comfortable. Come to think of it, it's the first ever bike I've ridden, I think, with Ford controls on it. When I say Ford controls, I mean these not as Ford as they could be, but they are, from my perspective, Ford. Whereas I'm so used to, obviously, with my type of bike, with the pegs, the brakes, and the gear change lever being under a leg that's bent at 45 degrees plus. So this is certainly different. And you have to be careful, I've noticed, obviously, with when putting the leg down, because the peg's obviously being in a different position. It's easy enough to misfoot it, if you like, catch the peg, and not get your foot down on the ground quick enough, which I don't particularly want to do. So there's a little bit of thought in just the simple process of stopping. Of course, Skeggy and Suffolk Andy and all those guys are in pretty good shape. We do a live stream still every Thursday, the Bikers Bash, and these guys regularly turn up, as they do. You got the motor vloggers from YouTube, and also we have crew members as well, and anybody else is welcome to join us. So everybody's keeping well. Suffolk Andy's out and about doing what he's doing. And hopefully the likes of people like Richard Khan Biker, you got Keith Woburn Biker, Dave, who's just recently sold his Diversion. Names of old. Lovely thing that happened the other night is the fact that we had our good friend Tim Crouch join us on the chat from Texas. Lovely bloke, and his video channel is top notch. I don't think I've ever watched any of Tim's videos and got bored, to be honest with you. Fantastic bloke and knowledgeable of his bikes. I mean, most of you will know Tim Crouch anyway. But yeah, we get so many names, of course, join us where they can, which is great. And I'd love to see some of these old guys. I mean, of course, I've got the Suffolk crew now, and we've got some fantastic characters now. We're now up to 750 members, so on and so forth. But it's great to see the names of old, if you like, the names that you've grown up with over the years. You know, and a lot of these, especially with the streams and that, these guys obviously are fairly well spread out. And it's great, you know, for the guys who do live in the UK, i.e. Skeggy and Suffolk Andy and Keith and Khan Biker and all those guys, Old Man Tony. It's great to see those guys out on local runs and shows, or you know, we can make a point of going out to see them on their runs and bits and pieces of meets and social events and whatever. So that's cool. But I wish all you guys well anyway. Bandit Nav, he's joined us. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Over in Australia, same as Big Kev. He joins us. Hope you're well. Another lad who's as comical as hell, and I don't know too much about him, but he joins us and literally cracks us right up with some of his comments on our streams. There's a guy called My Stall Crucking Fighting. Believe you me, I've not always used the proper abbreviation to his name, but he's a bloody good laughy guy, and of course he's a regular. Don't know when he actually rides motorcycles. Feel a bit rusty actually. It's been so long. I mean, it's obviously doing the live stream, and obviously we're gas bagging and chatting away, but it's been so long since I've actually done a vlog on the move on a bike. I'm actually we're going down to the fantastic Full Throttle Calf down Clacton, which is a proper biker's calf run by Door and Half Pint, Miranda. Very, very, very popular with bikers, with clubs, groups, you name it, always popular. So anyway, they've got a barbecue down there this Sunday, and of course I'm expecting to see a good few people there, as they are. In fact, I actually spoke to Door last night just to confirm that there would be enough space to park the bikes, which is obviously a good thing to do, and that's good because they got plenty of parking area around the back of the calf, so that's where all the bikes are going to be going, which leaves obviously more space for seating and service and socialising out the front. Weather-wise, it's looking good, so yeah, we're expecting a really good day, and for a change, I'm not actually running down anywhere with my Suffolk crew. Not invented it or nothing. They all know where it is, what's happening, blah blah blah. But I'm actually running down with some our good friends from the local club, the Black Shuck MCC. They're all good friends, fantastic guys. So that's cool. So yeah, all in all, it's a nice bike. That's nice. You can't fail to love that sound. I mean, I've always had inline fours for so many years now, and of course I've had a couple of 3 or 4 twins, couple of 2-stroke twins, couple of 4-stroke twins, and they're okay, they're fine. But the only other bike that I've really enjoyed apart from 4-cylinder machines are singles, the old thumpers, and I've not had too many of them, to be fair. Handles quite nicely actually. It's like, I find it, I suppose with the bars and everything, it's something you get used to, but it feels to me quite light on the front end. But then obviously I'm sitting upright with these higher bars, and obviously the whole design, the rake and everything's sort of different with these bikes. But so far so good. I think the only bit that concerned me, like I said, was more to do with the putting the feet down with the pegs and missing me footing, to be fair, but something you obviously get used to, you know, if you're an owner. Say hello to Mr. Kenny Middleditch and his lovely wife Nita. We're going to see Kenny. I'm hoping Kenny's going to be back on the road soon with his Yamaha Virago 750. Helmet. Cheers to Helmet the other night at Stonham. As soon as we got to Stonham, he went and bought me a pint. It's lovely. Cheers, buddy. Good to see you as always, my man. Kerry, obviously. Kerry Roberts of the crew. So I'm a sister in the crew, really, adopted sister. That's what we are, basically. Between myself and Kerry, that's basically the backbone of the crew. Certainly go around corners differently, I know that much. Apologies if this vlog is a little bit bitty, but I'm trying to pay attention to what I'm doing. Obviously, with this this lovely machine. Bearing in mind it's not mine, so I want to get it back in one piece, which is always cool, isn't it? I mean, the Pro owner is actually in the car in front with his other half, with his hands together and a prayer book. So hopefully, yeah, plenty more vlogs coming up, especially the one with the my new bike, the ZZR 1400, and I'm hoping to hopefully later in the year pick up another Bandit, which would be nice. That'll be another 1200 Mark 1 Bandit. Might be a Mark 2, but hopefully a Mark 1. Right, now coming up to the old Trinity Park in Ipswich. Obviously this is the Trinity Park, obviously where the Cop Doc show, the annual Cop Doc show, is held every year. And obviously last year, a total no-go, obviously, as with most things in, well, everything in motorcycle life, and with most things in general life, to be fair, was shut down, stopped. You just couldn't crack on and do it, you know, which was a shame, really, because the year before I was away abroad on the 2019 show, and I absolutely pissed it down with rain, you know. So it's good to have heard, obviously, from the friends of the CCMC, the Cop Doc guys, that the show is back on for this year. a change of date this year. It is the 19th of September. There is a reason why it's the 19th of September. It was going to be the 5th of September, but it's worked out quite well because there's another show on the same day up at the East of England Showground, which I believe is the MCN show, if I'm right in saying. The MCN bike show. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody, but so it made sense, really. They come together, got together, had a chat, this, that, and the other, and obviously it makes sense to agree to the variable date. But from what I gather, the new date within reason for the show each year now is going to be, I think it'll be the first weekend in September each year. No, so it was going to be September the 5th, but anyway, so that's besides the point. The Cop Dog show is back on this year, which is absolutely fantastic. You know, needs the support, as much support as possible, as do most events like this, especially with the size of it. So it'd be good, you know, it'd be great to have some fine weather, which we normally achieve around that sort of time, surprisingly. And that'd be great to see as many people as possible turn up to that in September. That's the Cop Dog bike show. That's only put my leg out quite a way, to be honest. That's the one I dislocated back in September. It's getting better, but I'm just making sure I'm not fucking hitting the peg rather than the concrete or the tarmac, sorry. Well, anybody, or everybody as it would say, enjoy the oncoming season, everyone. Of course, it's going to get fairly lively. In the meantime, stay safe.